For this lecture, we'll be having systems of ordinary differential equations where we will be dealing with real and distinct roots, complex roots, and the real and repeated roots. So similarly, what are the outcomes that we expect? Outcome A, knowledge of mathematics and physical sciences. Outcome J, ability to use techniques, skills, and modern engineering tools. And then for the learning outcome, it's the system of first-order linear differential equation with constant coefficients. Typically, you'll have something like this. So for example, derivative of x with respect to t is equal to a1x, b1y, c1z plus any function of t. And then similarly, the derivative of y with respect to t is this one, wherein a, b, and c are the constant coefficients of the variables x, y, and z. So in this case, if it's written in this form, the one on the upper left, we can translate it into a matrix. So how do we translate that into a matrix? So we say that the nomenclature that we have for the differential operators here, or the dx over dt, dy over dt, dz over dt, they can be written as the x prime. And then the constant coefficients, a1, b1, c1, they can be represented by capital A or the matrix A. And then x there is your x, y, and z. That is the variable matrix. Whereas your B in here, that corresponds to the functions of t. It can be a constant, it can be a function of t. So in the event wherein B, which is this one, is equal to 0, the differential or the systems of differential equations are considered or is considered to be homogeneous. Whereas if it's non-zero, it's non-homogeneous. So here, x prime, a, x, b. I'll explain to you the second case, which is the complex eigenvalues. So this is a 3x3 matrix as well. So applying the first one, what do you call this step again? The auxiliary equation. So you solve for the determinant of that, equate that to 0. So given this, you'll be able to solve for 3 roots. The first root is 1. The second root is 1 plus I. The other one is 1 minus I. So with that, you know that this one is in the form of A plus and minus BI. A is the fully real aspect, and then the BI is the complex aspect of the root. Okay? So we can say here that A is just 1, the coefficient. B, since it's just I, is also equal to 1. So your M is equal to 1, M2 is equal to 1 plus I, M3 is 1 minus I. Okay, so what's the next step then? Still the same, apply the same concept. So this one, for M equals 1, substitute that in the, what do you call this one? This one is actually an augmented matrix, may vertical line, di ba? So AMI, C1, C2 equals 0. This is the characteristic equation. Pero pag ito lang siya, nakaganto, it's an auxiliary equation. All right. So with this, M equals I, no problem. This is how we solved it earlier. This is real, case number 1. You'd be able to get to 2C2 minus C3 is equal to 0. C3 is equal to 0 and C2 is equal to 0. So you'd say, okay, C2 is actually 0. C3 is actually 0. Can't I just assume a C1? Yes, you can. Now, what is your assumption for C1? Let C1 be 1. Okay. Let C1 be 1 million. It's okay. Let C1 be negative 10. It's okay. It's up to you. But of course, like for me, the easiest one is 1. Now, is it possible for me, guys, to assume 0 as a value of C1?
No po.
Bakit hindi?
The Wronskian value might be equal to 0 po.
Yes, you're correct. It not might be, it will be equal to 0. And hindi pwedeng mag-equal sa 0. Why? If the Wronskian is 0, what happens, guys?
It will be linearly dependent na po.
Yes. So what does linear dependence mean? Maybe it's just the same equation. So that means there are no distinct solutions. So here, C1 is arbitrary. You can assume, so long as it's not zero. Okay. So you have the first solution. No problem. Let's go to the next. This is where the problem begins. For n equals 1 plus I, okay, let's plug in. You'd be able to see there are those that contain I already. Yes, it's okay. So let's still apply the same concept. Negative I C1 to C2 minus C3 equals 0. 0 C1 minus I C2 plus C3. Okay, so once you get to this, you'll notice that the second and third, actually, we can just, they're actually the same. It depends on where the I is placed. So here, I selected the third one. Negative C2 is equal to I C3. So using this, I can say that if C3 is equal to negative 1, C2 is equal to positive I. Am I correct, guys? Now that I have C2 and C3, I plug this in equation number 1. So equation number 1 states that transpose equation number 1 to one side. So I C1 plus 2, what is C2 again? It's I. Minus what is C3 again? Negative 1. Therefore, I have 2I plus 1, but then there's an I here. So divide everything. It becomes 2 minus I. Now that we have this C1, C2, and C3, you'll notice that in here, bakit B ganito? Yeah, kasi you have an imaginary term. So let's split this. For M equals I plus 1, which is this one, the B, some of you might say, sir, why is it B, why not C? It's okay. It's up to you. It can be any letter. It's just a matrix. So 2 minus I, and I split this as real and imaginary. Okay? So when I split that as real and imaginary, the real components are 2, 0, and negative 1. The imaginary components are negative I, and 0. But since I moved out the I can choose to just leave the constants, coefficients in here. Now, this, guys, is what you call the Euler form of the solution. Euler form of the solution, that if you have a complex eigenvalue, it would have this. But since it's a system, what we do here is C1 and then re is actually the real. And then im, when you notice the im, it's imaginary. Take note, ano yung A, ano yung B? This is A, di ba? As I showed you kana, A is 1, B is equal to 1. So the A and B that you see there are here. So A 1, B is equal to 1 also. The real is this one, the matrix. The imaginary here that you see is the coefficient of I. Okay? And this one, you'll notice that we start with a cosine and then minus sign, and then cosine plus sign. So let's try. We have this. So e to the at, a is 1. So e to the t, quantity C2, real cosine bt, take note that your b is 1. So real cosine 1t minus imaginary sine 1t plus C3 imaginary cosine 1t plus real sine 1t. Okay? And sometimes, so that means your solution would be x1, which is the case number 1, and then the x of the complex eigenvalue. So it's this. So some of you might say, sir, how do I test this for the Wronskian determinant? The Wronskian determinant is tested when t is equal to 0. So look at this. When t is equal to 0, e to the 0, 1. So you keep this. When t is 0, sine of t is 0. So you don't mind this. What's left with the C2 is just 2, 0, -1. And then in here, when t is equal to 0, this is okay. When t is equal to 0, this cancels. So you're left with -1, 1, 0. So it's here. The Wronskian determinant that you obtained is equal to 1. It's non-zero, meaning the solutions of this one will be linearly independent. Some of you might say, sir, can we write this as x, y, and z? It's okay. If you want to write the solutions as x, y, and z, you can do that. So you can say x is actually equal to c1 e to the t plus, in this case, c2 to c2 cosine t plus, hang on, I'll just combine them because they both contain c2. So 2 cosine t plus sine t, and then this one is plus c3 negative cosine t plus 2 sine t, and then both of them we have e to the t. So if it's 0, you can choose not to write it anymore. Like it's going to be, for y, it's going to be easier because for y, you don't need to write the c1 times 0 and then c2 times 0. So it's just going to be e to the t negative c2 sine t. Yun na lang. And then here, plus c3 cosine t. That's your y. Yun na lang natira eh, kasi the others there are 0 multipliers. And then for your z, that's 0, no problem. And then e to the t, that's just negative c2 cosine t. And then that's negative c3 sine t. All right. So I want you to try this. What's the first step? Can you please dictate to me? What's step number 1?
Get the auxiliary equation.
Yeah, so the roots of the auxiliary equation. Okay, so for this one, I can say 4 minus m, 1, negative 8, 8 minus m. So the determinant of this one is equal to 0. So 4 minus m, 8 minus m, and then this is plus 8 is equal to 0. So let's distribute. That's 32 minus 4m minus 8m plus m squared plus 8 equals 0. You'll end up with m squared minus 12m plus 40 is equal to 0. So what are the factors, guys? Is it factorable? Yeah, so it's going to be m squared minus 12m plus 36. Is it okay? Is it correct? And then minus 4. So this is going to be m minus 6 squared is equal to negative 4, or m is equal to 6 plus and minus 2i. So with this, a is 6, b is 2. You don't care about the signs anymore, if it's positive or negative 2, because it will be taken into consideration already by this form, because one is for the plus, one is for the minus. Okay, so what's the next step, guys? Characteristic equation. So a minus mi, since this is a 2 by 2, so it's just multiplied to c1, c2 is equal to 0. So a is 4 minus m minus 6, 2i, 1, negative 8, 8 minus 6 minus 2i. So what I'm substituting, by the way, is 6 plus 2i is equal to, multiplied to C1, C2 is equal to 0. So this one is negative 2 minus 2i, 1, negative 8. This is 2 minus 2i. This will be C1, C2 is equal to 0. So you have, if I factor out the negative sign, 2 plus 2i, C1 plus C2 is equal to 0. So I have basically so if we let C1 be equal to 1, what is your C2, guys? 2 plus 2i. So with this, I can actually have my matrix, which is 1 and then 2 plus 2i. So if you ask, what is the real component and what's the imaginary component? This one would be 1, 2. This is 0, 2 with an I, right? Okay. Third step, take note that your A, 6, B is equal to 2. Your B is actually 1, 2, and then, or let's just say 1, 2, 0, 2 is your real and your imaginary. Therefore, with this, I can say that my solution would then be E to the 6t, okay, capital C1, open,
Times
1, 2, cosine of 2t,
minus 0 to sine of 2t plus capital C2 times 0 to cosine of 2t plus 1 to sine of 2t.
right? So how do you solve for the Wronskian again? The Wronskian is solved when t equals 0. Can you give me the matrix for the Wronskian? 1, 2, 0, 2. No problem with that. And that's equal to 2 minus 0, 2. So linearly independent.